Hi, first grade. Well, here we are again with our plane shapes. So you'll notice on the screen, I have our plane shapes into three different groups. And I sorted them based on something that I'm going to give you a minute to think about why you think I sorted them this way. But I have our plane shapes in three separate groups. And I'll give you a minute. Think about why did I put them in those specific groups in that way? You thinking? Okay, well, if you thought that it had something to do with the number of sides and corners that these shapes have, you would be correct. So I sorted our plane shapes based on the number of sides and corners that these shapes have. So here in this group, I have plane shapes that have three or less sides. In this group, I have plane shapes that have four sides. And in this final group, I have plane shapes that have six or more sides. So these sides and corners that we're talking about is the way that we describe and sort and classify and identify plane shapes. It's always based on the number of sides and corners. And we'll talk a little bit more about that and get into corners in just a moment. But it doesn't matter what color a shape is. It doesn't matter what size a shape is. It doesn't matter what position a shape is, if it's, facing up or down or upside down. None of those things matter when we're talking about identifying and sorting plane shapes. This is what we call the properties of shapes or attributes of shapes. It's very much like the word we learned in reading of features or the features of shapes. It's the same kind of idea. So there's more than one right way to sort these shapes. These were just the groups, the sorting rule that I came up with, but three or fewer sides, four sides, six or more sides. So if we turn here to the next page and we take a look at all of our plane shapes again, we can see the number of sides and number of corners. So of course on a circle, there are zero sides and zero corners. And if we look at a triangle, when I keep using this word corner, here are the sides that we had talked a little bit about earlier this week. And then the corners are the points where the two sides meet. So triangles all have three sides and three corners. Rectangles, four sides and four corners. Same with squares and same with trapezoids. We can see here are the corners where those sides meet. And then here is our hexagon that has six sides and also has six corners. So again, the sides and corners are the way that we identify and classify, sort, group, categorize. We've learned that word as well. That's how we identify and categorize our plane shapes, not based on color, not based on the size or the position. Those things don't matter when it comes to identifying plane shapes. It just has to do with how many sides and how many corners the shapes have. So for today's activity in Seesaw for math today, you're going to do a couple of things. The first thing will be to complete this plane shape properties chart. So you can either type or write in the number of sides and the number of corners for each of these plane shapes. So here we have our square. I would come over here and write the number of sides that a square has, and then the number of corners that a square has. And you'll do the same for the rest of the plane shapes. Then you'll notice there are three more student pages for you to respond on this particular activity. And on the next three pages, you're going to see something that looks like this. Well, it looks exactly like this, where it is a square and then it's giving you a rule to follow to draw a shape. So this one, for example, says draw a shape that has less than four sides and four corners. So this is one of those math problems where there is and could be more than one right answer. You just have to choose a shape and draw a shape that matches this rule, this definition. As long as it has less than 4 sides and less than 4 corners, it would be correct. So you'll notice there could be more than one right answer. You'll do 2 more pages just like this on your seesaw activity, and then you will hit the check twice to submit, and that will be your seesaw activity for today. So just a quick reminder and review of what we talked about when we identify and sort plane shapes. We talk about how many sides and how many corners they have. Not what color they are, not what size they are. This is what really identifies plane shapes as plane shapes. All right, so go ahead and you can complete your seesaw activity for today. And just once again, you're all doing a great job and we are all really proud of you. So keep up the great work, first grade. Bye.